What's up, co-reporters, and welcome back to my channel. Keke Palmer's baby daddy, Darius Jackson, is really going in on her in the response that he filed to her restraining order. So we just went over this in a video that I posted earlier today, so make sure to check it out if you haven't already. But the text messages that he submitted as evidence were released. And so in these text messages, Keke talks a lot about having a broken heart and feeling very desperate for Darius and just losing herself in this relationship. And there's a key moment in there where she apologizes for hitting Darius. And that is the reason why he submitted this as evidence in his response to her restraining order filing. He's like, she's accusing me of, being violent with her, being physical with her in her filing. But here she is in text message admitting that she has been that way with me. So it's not fair that I've got a restraining order against me. It's not fair that she's got sole custody of her child, when this is the case. I'm not saying I agree with Darius. I am just, or I believe, or anything like that. I'm just saying exactly what is being reported there, right? And so I will say, though, that it is true. In these text messages, you very clearly see Keke Palmer apologize for hitting him. And this could be important to the judge, and this could sway the judge's ultimate decision when it comes to figuring out whether this restraining order is going to, go away once the temporary expiry date passes, or if it's going to become a permanent order or something like that. And of course, it's also going to affect his custody over his son. Will Keke keep sole custody, or is that going to turn into a joint thing, or, something else, shared custody, whatever? Right. So although Darius has those text messages, he doesn't have any images of any markings on him, and he doesn't have any in-action images or videos in the way that Keke had that in her filing. So here is a still from a video that she had submitted as evidence, and you see Darius reaching for her over the couch with both arms in a very aggressive manner. She's upside down on the couch, and you see she's got her legs up to push him away. That is a very damning piece of evidence against him. And then there's more from that exact same incident and day. They're wearing the exact same pieces of clothing, right? And you see Darius dragging Keke over the couch, and her whole bottom half is exposed because she's not even properly dressed. Again, very, very damning piece of evidence. And now on a separate occasion, which points to a pattern here, right? Not a one-off thing, but a pattern. You see Darius with his hand on Keke's throat. You see him seemingly picking her up, and she claims that on this day, he slammed her against the stairs. So this is the evidence that Keke's got, and that is the evidence that Darius has for the time being, right? So in addition to these text messages, Darius is now telling the judge, there's more. This was not a one-off thing. Keke was the aggressor in our relationship. And shout out to Page 6 for this story. They're the ones who got the court documents that were filed by Darius. And so in these court documents, Darius claims that Keke, quote, engaged in abusive behavior and subjected him to both physical and verbal abuse. He also says that Keke punched him in the face at a birthday party on October 20th, 2021, and allegedly choked and hit him during an altercation on February 28th, 2022. So those are two instances, right? I want to go back to these text messages and see if there's any date stamp. I don't think there is, which is unfortunate, because I would like to know is if the August birthday situation, is this in reference to that, or is it in reference to the thing that happened in February? And just as a thing, I'm pretty sure Keke Palmer is a Virgo. Whose birthday party could they have been celebrating on August 20th, right? So it turns out Keke Palmer, she is born on August 26th of 1993, right? So I believe that would have been her birthday party where she allegedly punched Darius in the face afterwards, which I think that is quite wild. Because I know she mentioned something about them going out to a dinner. and a girl, like, talking to Keke or smiling at Keke. And then she said that he got really mad when they were in the parking garage. He opened up her purse, emptied the contents, and like threw it all over the parking garage and made her go fetch it as he drove off. I wonder if that's like the same instance. I'm really, really, really curious. So anyway, in addition to that, Darius is also claiming that Keke berated him, called him names like bitch, a punk ass, and a loser, and that things like this, these sorts of insults, would happen when she was drunk. So it seems like he's also alluding to her having some kind of a drinking problem. But, I might be speculating a little too hard there, but I feel like he's walking a fine line when he says that she would do these sorts of things when she was drunk, right? It kind of points to, this is the reason she can't be trusted with alcohol, which of course can affect her own custody situation with their son, Leotis. Now, as for where Keke Palmer's seemingly unemployed baby daddy is currently living, now that he is not able to stay in Keke's residence on her dime, he's saying that he lives with his mother, and he's seeking joint legal and physical custody of their son, Leo, aka Leotis, right? So that is basically the information that we have for now. He's got the text messages, but I would like to see more, right? I feel like he could have entered into evidence photos of him. Was he bruising? Was he scratched? Was he red? Things like that, because the evidence that he's got versus the evidence that Keke's got, like, the difference truly is night and day. And so I wonder, I do think it's important nonetheless that he's got this. But like I said in my prior video about this, when I addressed these text messages specifically, I said hitting is such a broad term. When someone says I hit you, what does that mean? A hit could be anything. It could be like a this, it could be a this, it could be a slap, it could be a shove, it could be a punch, it could be a pinch, it could be a lot of things. So I feel like, because it is so vague in her text message, and this is the only thing he's got as like kind of like evidence to her being violent with him, it's going to be tough for him to beat this restraining order when this is the sort of violence that evidence that Keke Palmer has against him, right? Also, like I mentioned in my last video, why is Keke Millionaire Palmer dating a man who lives with his mother and has no job at his grown-ass age and having a baby with him? I just do not understand. I really, I really hope she takes a long break from dating after this and maybe goes back to Steve Harvey, who had some really good advice for her about dating men on her level, and heeds to that advice moving forward, because this is all just wild to me. When I saw that he lived with his mom, I was like, how the hell I know how he got around Keke, right? Because his brother, Shaunus, is a star on HBO's Insecure. So like he would have access to celebrities due to that relationship. But for him to actually pull one, especially like someone let me use this photo, especially someone as big as Keke with quite literally nothing to offer, is wild to me. I can't get over it every time I report on this story. So I did mention it in my other video, but I do want to mention it to you guys here as well, in case you don't get around to the other video. But Darius recently made an announcement, which is that he has been saved. He's got a Bible, as you can see in this image. It was a video, but this is a screenshot. He's been baptized. He's turned his life over to God, and he is repenting for the things that he's done in his past. So it does seem like he is acknowledging and trying to take responsibility for the things that he has done in his relationship with Keke Palmer. And of course, because of the sensitivity of this case and the fact that it is still a live and open case, he cannot outright admit to anything or say anything more than that. But I do want to give you guys that as a piece of information. I wonder, though, if that can be used against him. Will Keke's lawyer say, well, look at your client, he's admitting that he was this way to Keke, and that's why he is so guilty. His conscience is so guilty. It, pushed him into religion, and now he's repenting and he's getting baptized and doing all these things, right? To make good or to make up for what it is that he has done in this relationship, right? Like the timing is just too good it's too convenient for this to be it for any other reason. So I don't know that it was smart of Darius to post that on social media. But anyway, let's get back to the topic at hand, which is that Darius is claiming that Keke was actually the violent one in this relationship. I want to know how you guys feel about that. Do you believe it? Do you think this was a mutually combative relationship? Or do you think this could have even been reactive violence on Keke Palmer's part? I want to know all of your thoughts and all of your opinions. So please make sure to leave them in the comment section down below. And as usual, we'll chat. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.